All right, so what if we have to go the other direction? What if we're given a graph, we're given all of the information, but we need to write the function of it? Okay, we can do our process backwards. We can take our intercepts, make them zeros, make them factors. We can use our y-intercept to find other information and write out our whole equation. So, I have 1, 2, 3 intercepts. All of them go through. So I should end with an x cubed function. All right, I'm going to call those P, Q, and R. This y-intercept here is just an x and a y of my function. So I'm going to use that information. All right, so we know that if we have the intercepts, we can write a function in intercept form. So we have P being -4, Q being 1, R, just because it's alphabetical order. You make whatever letter you want. So y equals. The thing we do not know is if there's a stretch or a shrink on the parent function. So we're going to place an A here to represent an unknown stretch or shrink. X minus P, X minus Q, X minus R. We have a point, X and Y. So first we have Y equals A, X, minus -4. Okay, so plus 4. X minus 1. X minus 3. So, if there's no stretch or shrink, if like we knew that definitely, that would be our final answer. But we do need to find out if there's a stretch or shrink in there. So we actually need to solve for A. We need to check if a stretch or shrink has happened to this cubic function. So solve for that A value. You solve for that A value using what we've already created here, substituting in this known X and Y value, solving for A. So Y is -6, X is 0. So I'm going to do -6 equals A times 0 plus 4 times 0 minus 1 times 0 minus 3. So -6 equals A times 4 times -1 times -3. So -6 equals, let's see, 4 times -1 is -4 times -3 is positive 12. So 12A. If I divide both sides by 12, I have -6 over 12 equals A. So A is -1/2. So there is an A value. Now that you have your A value, you can actually write your function. So f of x equals my A value, -1/2 times x plus 4 times x minus 1 times x minus 3. Final answer. So it looks nearly identical to the first time I wrote it in intercept form, except I know that there's an A value. So I need to utilize that A value when writing my function. Right, so let's try number 5. Write a cubic polynomial. Oh, that's nice. It does tell us cubic, so there should be 3x intercepts. Write the function from the given graph. Okay, so cubic, 3 intercepts. 1, 2, 3. So that one is representing that information there. Okay, I mean, I have the y-intercept, but I'm not totally completely sure what that's going through, but I do have another point up here. Wozers. This is an x and a y. Okay, so I'm going to use that. So, first thing, I need to end in an x cubed because it's cubic. I need to identify my three intercepts, so I'm going to call that P, Q, and R. So what does P equal? -3. How about Q? -1. And R? 2. All right, so I need to write out what form? Intercept form. We know intercepts. Use the intercepts. So A times X minus P times X minus Q times X minus R. So X minus -3, X plus 3, next, X plus 1, because Q is -1, and next, X minus 2. Can I leave that? No, you need to solve for A. How do you solve for A? Hey, you need to substitute in your point. What point do we have? -2, 4. Okay, here's our point. You can use any point on there. That one's given to us, so why not use it? Okay, so let's write that out. So 4 equals A times -2 plus 3 times -2 plus 1 times -2 minus 2. Okay, so simplify that. So we got a 1, -1, -4. All right. So 1 times -1 is -1 times -4 is 4. So if 4 equals 4A, what does A equal? 1. So was there stretch or shrink? No, but did you know that from the graph? No. So we have to do that to check every time just in case. So how do you write this function? You can put your 1, but you don't have to. X plus 3, X plus 1, X minus 2. Okay, here is your last one. I'm going to give you the answer, but I'm not going to do the whole problem with you. But if you want to do it, this is what you should end with. And the order of the factors doesn't matter as long as they're all multiplying together. But your A value should be 1/6, and you should have factors x minus 3, x plus 6, and x plus 3 in there. If you want to do some extra stuff out of your book, you can. Here are 2 pages and some problems that you can work through. They're odd, so the answers will be in the back of your book if you want to practice some more and check them.